Talk to me. What's going on with you these days?
What's not going on with me these days? That's the question. So, first of all, my name is Malcolm Lee. I'm a basketball player.
Malcolm Lee takes, oh my goodness, Malcolm Lee! Whoa! Wow!
How do you get into a creative zone? What is your inspiration to an athlete that may want to write songs or do something, but they're so stuck in their athletic world? Like, how did you climb out of that and basically just mark yourself as a creative?
Well, I necessarily didn't climb out of it. I think I climbed back into it. I'm actually an artist at heart. Before I started dribbling, before I ever played baseball or whatever, any other sport, I was an artist at first. I was either drawing, writing, or creating something out of nothing.
Roaming these overseas streets, I'm a pit off the leash, meat in my teeth.
It's almost like a reset button, because being a basketball player, you kind of just like always on the go, 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 go. You don't really have time to think, because as soon as you think, that's when you die. Metaphorically, but you almost have to be unconscious as an athlete. You can't be really tuned into your emotions, because that's when things go awry for you, and you can't really focus in on the task at hand.
When you have like a main goal or agenda at task, you kind of undermine any issues that's going on in your life, physically or mentally. So right now, I'm not really worried about my back.
Basically, things became full circle, and I started practicing my artistry. It's basically when I started just having these life experiences, and I didn't have a counselor, or I didn't know how to release these, or I didn't have any outlets to release these experiences that I was going through. And I found art being very meditative, and it was basically helping me get through the days. Just either if I was writing a journal or drawing, whatever that was coming to my mind, I found that being very soothing. I didn't know it was going on in high school, because you're just kind of caught up in a moment. But when I really started to realize the perception of things is when I went to UCLA. And wearing that brand, they basically try to put you in a box. I get it though, because they have endorsements and they're looking out for their name, so they don't really want to step on anyone's toes or cause any type of controversy, because that'll be taking money out of their pocket. But at the same time, it's almost spreading an illusion that that's not reality. Like, at the end of the day, we're humans. At the end of the day, this is a free country. We're supposed to be able to voice our opinions and to be able to just live freely, especially in college. I remember when I left UCLA and became on my own, I'm just like, oh, I could do this, or oh, I could do that. Like, it's almost like I had to break out of these barriers that the university kind of groomed me into. And this is not no shot at UCLA or anybody, but any other student athlete could even attest to this, that that wearing that university could be very restricting. I've dealt with a lot of injuries. I didn't know what to do outside of basketball, and things weren't going right. My body wasn't feeling good, but it's like, what do you do? What do I know? And that's one of the reasons why I'm Human kind of, this is where I'm Human was conceived off of.
What y'all got on? It's like a brand we're working on. What is it? It's called I'm Human.
The term I'm Human is empowering to me, because what I've realized about being a basketball player is that title is very stifling, and people tend to look at you as an object, and they tend to objectify you. What I've been doing from a creative standpoint has been trying to find content on the internet of celebrities talking about their humanity and basically showing the side of them that basically isn't depicted through camera, smoke, or mirrors. Where I would say I'm Human is definitely in the first stages of things, of just trying to, you know, get the message out there to the public, and that's where I'm at so far with my brand.
No, it's basically like a clothing brand type of web series situation, and basically we're gonna be just getting athletes involved.
When looking for content, I always gotta think outside of myself. I only know my perspective, so it's easy to find content that just speaks directly to me. I know that there's a lot of other people out there that basically who doesn't have, you know, the same identifications as me that could benefit from this. And I try to keep that in mind, so I'm over here looking up people who's far-fetched from me. I'm reaching the whole palette, and I'm trying to just find content out there that speaks to everybody. I think my last post was on like women's rights or something like that. And I remember sometimes people will come on my page and be like, you know, there's always that negative person. I had a couple of times people come, oh, you're a feminist or whatever. And I'm just like, no, I'm a realist at the end of the day. At the end of the day, women has the same rights as men, and we shouldn't be able to put them in a box. I don't have to be a woman to realize that, you know? If a woman wants to be a housewife, she has a right to be a housewife. If a woman wants to be independent, she has a right to be independent. But don't try to put her in this box with a low ceiling as if that was the only thing that God made women for. And it's sad that I realized that there's a lot of people in 2020 that still thinks like this. Those hunter-gatherer days are far over. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like we haven't evolved with time as a culture, and we kind of we cling to these traditional ideas of life that is just far from reality. And we wonder why we are in a state of mind collectively today. Basically, the rewarding is just helping others, you know, because I know we're all going through the same things. It's almost like it's like some type of ceremony where people could get together and share these experiences, and hopefully this brand could be another outlet for them, an outlet that I particularly didn't have growing up in the athletic world. And it's just not for athletes either. It could be anybody, for the actors, models, to anyone that's working in corporate, to people who have underground jobs. You know, I feel like everyone is going through some type of identity crisis internally. This is Malcolm Lee. You're tuning into Living in Color. Follow my brand, I'm Human, on Instagram, I.mhuman.
Perfect.